Interesting facts about bees. Honeybees are one type of insect among about 20,000 species of bees. There are currently about 7 known species of honeybees, with about 40 for subspecies. All of these species belong to the genus Apis. They produce and store honey produced from flower nectar. In addition, they also make nests from the wax produced by the worker bees in the honey bee colony. Here is interesting information about honeybees. The bee colony must be able to produce a sufficient amount of honey in order to survive. A bee is estimated to produce 0.083 teaspoon of honey in its lifetime. With such a quantity, tens of thousands of workers are needed to ensure the availability of honey for all colonies. It takes various divisions of labor from 20,000 to 60,000 bees inhabiting one hive. Here are some divisions of tasks in a bee colony. Nurse bees take care of bee chicks. The mate bee bathes and feeds the queen bee. Guard bees stand guard at the entrance of the hive. Worker bees build wax hives where the queen lays eggs and workers store honey. Keeper bees remove dead bees. Foraging bees look for pollen and nectar to feed the entire colony. Honeybees can fly at speeds between 24–30 km/h. With that much speed, bees are not fast-flying insects. The bee's flight ability is designed to make short trips from flower to flower, not long distances. The bee's tiny wings must flap 12,000 to 15,000 times per minute to stay afloat. Bees also fly at a lower speed when carrying pollen. The queen bee can lay up to 2,000 eggs a day. Just 48 hours after mating, the queen bee begins her lifelong task of laying eggs. In a day, he can produce eggs equivalent to his own body weight, with an average daily egg production of about 1,500 to 1,000 eggs. A queen bee can produce up to 1 million eggs during her lifetime. The queen bee stores a lifelong supply of sperm. Queen bees can live 3 to 5 years, but their biological clock is ticking much faster than many might think. Just a week after leaving her queen cell, the new queen flies out of the nest to mate. If you don't do it within 20 days, the queen bee will lose her abilities. However, if successful, he does not need to remarry. The queen bee stores sperm in the spermatheca, small internal cavities, and uses it to fertilize eggs throughout her life. Male bees die after mating. Male honeybees or drones have only one goal: to provide sperm for the queen. About a week after leaving the cell, the drone is ready to mate. After mating with the queen, they then die. Beeswax comes from special glands in the abdomen. The youngest worker bees make beeswax, which is used to build beehives. 8 pairs of glands in the lower abdomen produce wax droplets that harden into flakes when exposed to air. The workers then use the wax flakes to make nests. A worker bee can visit up to 2,000 flowers per day. A worker bee cannot carry pollen from many flowers at once, so it visits between 50 and 100 flowers at a time. Worker bees repeat this throughout the day so they can visit up to 2,000 flowers. The hard work of the worker bees makes it only live about 3 weeks and cover about 800 kilometers during its lifetime. The hive controls the types of bees that appear. The type of bee produced from honey bee eggs depends entirely on what the larvae eat. The larvae that become queens are fed only royal jelly. Bees that are fed fermented pollen bee bread and honey become female worker bees. The bee colony is the female world. Male bees come from unfertilized eggs and make up only about 15% of the colony population. The presence of drones male bees, however, is a sign of a healthy nest, as it indicates that the colony has plenty of food. However, males will be removed from the colony at the end of the season due to resource depletion. The only thing drones do is eat and mate. Unlike the female bee, Drones have no other job and don't even have a stinger. A bee colony can produce a makeshift queen. If the nest loses a queen, the consequences can be dire. However, 5 days after the death of the queen bee, the colony can create an emergency queen by feeding the larvae certain foods. By changing the diet of a larva from honey to royal jelly, which is the exclusive diet of the queen bee, a new queen can be created.